Hey, what's up? What's up? Good morning, everybody. It's always a joy to be on live with you. My name is Tremaine Wells. I am a financial planner and investment advisor. I own a company called Mind Over Money, where we are on a mission to help 1 million households grow their invested assets to $1 million or more. We do this through comprehensive financial planning, giving investment advice, and teaching and promoting financial literacy, doing live sessions like this, and coming to organizations, teaching and training. So, super excited to dive in with you guys today. The topic for today, our question that needs an answer is I see red. Should I sell? Right. And we're talking about selling our stocks when we notice that we have a particular period where our return is actually negative. Right. So we're going to dive into that. If you know somebody that could benefit from this session, feel free to share it with them, tag them, encourage them to join us live. If you want to make sure that you are with me when I go live and do these sessions every single day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, be sure to follow and turn on the notification so that you know when I'm here and I'm teaching, right? So we're going to dive into this idea of selling our investments, learning to regulate our emotions when we start to see that things may appear to be going south, right? So one of the questions I ask clients, especially when I know what they're seeing in their portfolio, is how you feel, right? And if they understand the strategy and what our next steps should be. Because sometimes people will see that their portfolio is red, right, for a particular period of time, and they'll want to sell the investments. And so I'm sure this is a common feeling that others have felt. And so I want to talk about it and teach about it. All right. So hopefully that's good. Before I do that, though, I almost forgot to ask, where are you guys tuning in from? Yesterday, I saw some folks, somebody commented and said they were here from Jamaica. Where are you guys tuning in from? I am based in the United States. Our business serves United States households, and we are located in Virginia. So I have a question down here that says referring to IRAs. So IRAs are individual retirement accounts. They are one type of investment bucket. The IRA itself is not the investment, it's just the account type that holds it. So there could be investments inside that IRA. That's a great question. So we got somebody from Alabama. Thanks for sharing. Welcome, welcome. Um, where else are we tuning in from? I typically see some of my hometown folks from 757 logging in. So it's always a pleasure to be able to lock in with you guys and share a little bit. So I'm going to talk about this, right? Yeah, you can't join my live, darling. Sorry. So let's dive in and let's talk about what this is. Right. Now, one of the things that we need to think about is when we see red in our portfolio, we need to understand what is the period that is being measured, right? Because there's different emotions you can have about different things, right? Because if, let's say, for example, if I'm looking and I see that it's red, but it's only red for today, right? It's only down, a couple points, percentage points for today. That may not be something that causes alarm, right? A lot of us can handle it being red for a day. But what we might see is that maybe it's red and it's down for the quarter or it's down for the year, right? And then we start to feel in our stomach like, oh my goodness, am I going to lose my money, right? Um, but one of the other things you have to understand is, what was my overall investment strategy? When do I actually need these funds? And for most people, you are in a situation where you're investing for a longer term period. And so if you understand the market, you know that it does this, right? It goes up and down and up and down and up and down. But over time, it tends to trend up. And so, what we want to do is we want to remember the characteristics of the market and not allow temporary movements to cause us to have permanent decisions, right? So, you need to do a gut check and understand, like, is this a decision I want to make based off of a temporary moment in what I'm seeing in my portfolio? Or is this a calculated movement I need to make based on my long-term objectives, right? So for most people, the answer is always going to be, it depends, right? Should I sell? It depends. And so if you're not at a place in your investment journey where it's time for you to sell, to get those funds, to use it for whatever the investment purpose was, maybe it's not time to sell right now. Maybe it's time for you to learn what type of market you're in and when you can expect the market to return back to the high that it was at, right? But if you are someone who is nearing retirement age, or you're getting close to the timeline of when you need to use those funds, now that might be a different conversation, right? Because you might need to protect the assets that are there and not continue to sustain losses. And so this is when it's important to have investment strategy and to know what the purpose of the investments are, so that you make decisions based on whatever that strategy is and not based on your emotions, right? Because a lot of times we make decisions about money based on how we feel, and that is dangerous in investing, right? And I've been seeing a lot of things going around now where, like, some people are saying like not to invest in your 401k and like all this trash, right? 401k is not an investment. It's a bucket that tells us how the money's to be taxed. And so when you're getting investment advice and you're listening to strategy about how to invest, you want to make sure that you're listening to people that actually understand the investments, right? And so you have to have a level of awareness and know where your own knowledge gaps are to get connected with a professional that's going to teach you how the investment works, what the real risks are, and how to mitigate those risks. So I say all this to say that when you see red, sometimes you might have this feeling in the pit of your stomach that, oh my goodness, I need to sell and, like, help prevent myself from sustaining further losses. But that is actually counterintuitive, right? Sometimes what we need to do, especially if we have a longer term investment strategy, is to continue to invest, right? There's a strategy called dollar cost averaging, where over time, you just decide that you're going to invest the same amount of money, maybe every single month, every quarter, every year. And you're just going to keep doing it no matter what the market looks like, because it's a pretty conservative strategy that has proven over time helps folks build wealth, right? It is incredibly challenging to time the market, but having time in the market, having time invested, allows us to build wealth. So if you don't have the time and energy, the knowledge to identify what the different charts are and all this kind of stuff, it's in your best interest to have a longer term strategy and to not allow the fluctuation in the market dictate whether you're going to buy or you're going to sell. Because most times, retail investors, right, the everyday person gets it wrong, right? So regulate your emotions, really have some sort of investment strategy in place to know when you actually need to access the funds before making decisions about, wow, this is not, doing the 7-10% I might have seen last year, and decide that, okay, I'm going to sell it, right? Because once you sell, you lock in the loss. But if we give it time to recuperate and come back, which for most of us, we have enough time in our investment horizon for that investment to return to that high, then we can continue to go and continue to build wealth instead of locking in those losses. Okay, you're asking me about a put option. If you want customized strategy, you can send me a DM so we can talk about deeper detail. But that's above the scope of what this conversation is about, right? Um, so yes, hopefully this was helpful to you. If you'd like to work with an advisor one-on-one to talk about what your investment strategy should be, how you can make sure that you're doing what you need to do to reach your target goals, you can send me a DM. You'll get a message to get on my calendar. We can talk about what services are available to you. All right. So hopefully you enjoyed this message. If you know anybody who is investing and they may not be as astute and they're talking about the market being red or have ever talked about the market being red, feel free to share this message with them so they can understand that just because we see red, that may not mean it's time to sell right now. It may be time to revisit what's our investment strategy so we can build the confidence in what we're doing with investing and not be intimidated and run by our emotions. All right, guys. Again, my name is Tremaine Wills, financial planner, investment advisor. I own a company called Mind Over Money, where we're on a mission to help 1 million households grow their invested assets to $1 million or more. If you'd like to stay connected and become one of those households that we serve, feel free to follow, slide in my DM so we can start this conversation and take it to the next level. All right. Have a fantastic day. I will see you tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we answer our next question that needs an answer.